has progressed. You know, think about things like Power Praise, Sing Unto the Lord. UK gospel classic.
Absolutely classic.
Think about Raymond and Co. Playing Games. Classics. These are sounds that would just literally just basically put that sound together. Think about Four Corners. Think about Cyanide. But the point
Governor
is,
B, Kingdom Skank. The Kingdom Skank was a revolutionary track. You know what I'm saying?
And my point is basically
100%.
this: you identify whatever you think your sound is, and you deliver it. Because the pioneers will never really get the props, but they have to lay the foundation for other people to follow through.
Bro, I'm gonna die daily, man.
Affinity Extra, be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Extra.
Yo, people, I'm right in the studio. I just had a gate crashing situation. You know what I'm saying? I just had a gate crash from somebody from the southern coast. You know what I mean? You know, a stranger. You know, he's 40 still. Yeah, somebody who likes to go missing in action, and I have to text him to text him to say, "What are you building, bro? What are you building, bro? What trouble are you causing still?" You know what I'm saying? And he's sponsored by Canon, by the way. So you know, he's kind of like it kind of doesn't quite fit into the ecosystem here in the studio.
I'm looking at all of these Lumix business. Shout out the Panasonic crew.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely is how we do it, bro. But listen, guys, you know, we just started this chat. It's past we got 20 minutes, man. So we thought we'd just talk some sense, put it out there, see what's going. We're just talking about UK gospel, man. And I thought, you know what, let's just record this because UK gospel is something to always talk about. And myself and Yinka, we've been around for a few years and a couple of years, and we are the two I would say like Adidas and Nike. It's like Adidas and Puma, but they're actually brothers. You know what I mean? So they're actually brothers, but they're Mommy's going, thank you, sons, for giving me your presents. Yes, though, yeah. But everybody in the world sees them as two enemies. Everyone's fighting over. But so we're two brothers, really. You know what I'm saying? So UK gospel, and you got Divine Intervention, original.
Oh wow!
Going far back, man. So I just remember Yinka when I came back from Africa, Lagos, and
so I'm from Lagos. Actually.
You're from Lagos as well?
Yeah, I lived in Lagos.
Okay, LA Lagos. You haven't got the accent though, like SO.
So you want me to switch to my Yoruba English accent?
Oh, usually US accent. Yeah. That's what the preachers usually preach, isn't it?
Do you know I can't do a US accent?
It's where you get all the preachers they go, you know. But anyway, either way, LA Lagos was an experience and it transformed my life 100%. And yam chips and chicken was fire. And what it really did to me is open my eyes to blackness. Yeah, really? You know what I'm saying, and open my eyes to what I've been told and what I perceive through media. And you know what I mean? And then and bear in mind, I went to university. My good friend from university that we bumped into the same class, we in the same year, engineering, was Somalian, and he looked as nowhere near Somalian as on TV. I'm going, blood, what you doing here, man? Because according to TV, you should be starving. And he goes, blood, what you on about, bro? You know what I'm saying? That's like one little kind of Somalia, mate. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that narrative stuck around for years,
bro. And you know what,
damaging.
Bro? And then it's deep, you know, bro. It's deep because it's so deep that I find that Caribbeans don't want to recognize the African heritage. It's that deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you go to Jamaica and say to them, "You're African descent," they go, the struggle with it, bro. It's the younger ones. It's like, yeah, man, cool. We're good with it. You know what I'm saying? But you go to the older generation, my dad's generation, you can't tell them they're African, bro.
I never got that because I never understood that.
Yeah.
And it was only I was born in the UK.
Yeah.
Came back to the UK because my family went back to Nigeria.
Okay, cool.
So I came back to the UK in 1990. Yeah. And so I'm coming in with a very kind of open mind.
Yeah, cool.
So from my perspective, the Africans and Caribbeans, it's essentially just one homogenous group of black people.
Yeah,
and it was only when I got here that I started to understand the very clear distinctions.
Yeah. No, 100%.
It's weird, man.
And the thing is like it's divided us from achieving what we should achieve. What hurts my heart right now, bro, is that the most resources are in Africa. We all know that, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? 100%. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
100%.
And we are not clued up as we should be. You know what I'm saying? And what's happening now?
Is that a race thing, or is that an infrastructure and a mindset thing?
It's mindset. It all stems from when slavery was officially stopped. When I say officially stopped by the so-called Christians that apparently take
that's a heavy statement.
Yeah, it is, because how can you turn around and say that we stopped slavery when you actually help start it up? It's like the fireman who starts the fire.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I always challenge that statement, because at some stage we have to draw the line.
So
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But at what stage and I've heard a lot of black Christians say this.
Yeah.
At what stage do we kind of go, right, okay, Christians partook in slavery. Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But at some stage we have to say, right, okay, Christians also helped stop slavery.
So
we have to move on from there.
What does drawing the line look like?
So I don't know. This is it. That's where the conversation has to be.
Because the thing is, the drawing the line, And
what really gets on my nerves is how there are people who once you mention drawing the line, they don't even want to have that conversation.
Yeah.
That gets on my nerves, because how do we move forwards if you're not even going to have the conversation about where we actually draw the line?
Yeah, come on.
And move forwards. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I accept and I agree. Christianity's hands are certainly not clean in all of this.
In a lot of things.
But at some stage we have to say, right, okay, what's gone is gone.
Yeah.
We can't ignore it. We have to factor that into our ongoing narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to inform how we move forwards.
Yeah.
But we have to move forwards.
So that is a really very valid point. Drawing the line would mean a coming together.
Drawing the line would mean acknowledging what went past. Yeah. Yes. Factoring that into where we are now. And using that to design how we go forward.
That's
what we're not doing.
Dude,
because so many people are hung up on what had been. So they're not even having a clean conversation that says, look, this hurt, this experience, this thing that has brought us to where we are needs to inform what we do going forwards. Yeah. But we have to go forwards.
Oh, fundamental. But the thing is, as Christians, as black Christians, really been on the table because of discussions, because we have hid away. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking from an Afro-slave perspective. You know, in terms of, you know what I'm saying? It's like. The thing is, on that one. No. We'll disagree, because again, I could argue. For me, I want to move forward. I just feel that basically to move forward, you have to ultimately recognize the blind-sightedness of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You know,
what do you mean?
In terms of how we taught the Bible, how we teach the Bible. We teach the Bible from a European perspective. Do we address the Afro-Asian aspect of the Bible? Do we put it in a true context? You cannot, if we did a Robin Hood story and based it in Nigeria, the Nottingham people in Shire would say, yo, readdress that, please. Before we move on, that has to be redressed. So when do we redress that element of the trueness of that? It's an Afro-Asian book.
It's complicated. I don't know.
We want to give them the blind. And also, do we like Germany, the World War II, you know what I mean, 100% every year we remember this day, you know what I'm saying, we hand to heart, move forward, you know what I mean, the terrible Holocaust, but yet what day do we take out for the atrocities of not 5 years, 500 years?
So
you know what I'm saying,
but bring it back to my point.
How do we move?
How do we fold all of this narrative into starting to have a conversation that moves us forward? Because a lot of what I hear when people say that is they are talking about the hurt which we've sustained. Typically, I think from the Caribbean experience, less so from the African experience. Even with, because I grew up. I spent my formative years in Nigeria, so primary school, secondary school, university. My experience has been very, very disconnected from a slavery experience. I lived a very cosmopolitan, metropolitan life, honestly. So I had no direct connection to history. I don't have any hurt. I don't think back and have any hurt. Even though, of course, colonialism,
it's damaging.
You do. But from my point of view, I have no connection to that. Like, for example, how a West Indian guy might have some hurt because they can draw that line much more directly than I can as an African guy. So from my point of view, I suppose it means it's easy for me to say, which is what I always say, that look, I get it, but at some stage, it's more productive to fold all of these experiences into one baseline, and that forms a foundation of moving forwards. Because in the bringing it back to gospel, in the 30 odd years you and I have been doing that, this conversation has been always in the background somewhere.
It's been,
which is holding us back.
It's and this is where so I would say for me, and I told you 100. I want to move. I said to guys, I'm still the reason why I have an ethos of presenting this element in the on the station, because very few stations out there do hit social black aspects, and say we represent black music. People are like, yo, are you sure? But 100%. Why I wanted to do that, because for me it's a case of going, bring us to the table properly, because what's happened in the past, and it hasn't happened properly. You have to realize that when people are preaching, I'm sitting down there listening to a preacher every day, lovely lady, white lady, lovely lady, you know what I'm saying, talk about her ancestor going to America as a Quaker, and brokering treaties with Native Americans, so I do a little research into that, that's not as clean cut, and calling Pennsylvania, it's based off Christianity. Mate,
so what's the point?
But the thing is, it's the trust, the land, from a Native American perspective, basically, the so-called discoveries of Americans basically wiped out 90% of the population, you know what I'm saying, and totally changed the land forever, you know what I'm saying, whatsoever. So for me, you can't bring it, you got to bring it in its true context. You got to stop. When I went up for school in the UK, Commonwealth is taught from a civilization of the world perspective, but I noticed something clear difference between myself and my Caribbean colleagues and my Asian colleagues and my African colleagues. I always said, yo, my British who's African, their mentality reminds me of the Asians. When I get older, I realized that the damage of colonization is a different type of damage to and this is me probably looking at going, how come they're both, they just a different move, you know what I'm saying, and I felt like identity is key.
I think it's a difficult one to unpack, because I know. There's so many things wrapped into one thing. But I think if you're looking at it from, if I take my personal experience, my thing has always been, you start with what you have. You build what you want to see. And whatever is outside of your control, you ignore. You ignore and you create the experience you want. And unfortunately, that's where I think a lot of black British people in gospel have probably black British widely have struggled a bit. Because, and the example I used to use back in the 90s when I first arrived was, you arrive in the UK and you have no idea how much of a land of opportunity this is. You have no idea if you're black. Again, I'm being very, very general here because I didn't grow up in the UK. But when I look at my own experience as somebody who, my first experience of DJing was basically taking my Walkman and my family PA system and my family turntable, plugging them into an amp, and using the aux fader to mix.
Of course, all day.
And you made it work. And then you suddenly come into a country where you can buy a mixer. And then all of a sudden, that experience that I've already built, because my thing is, I want to make this happen. I've made it happen with the limitations I've got. And then I come into a country like this where I don't have to hodgepodge something together to create mixing equipment, because I can go out and buy a mixer. And all of a sudden my mixing skills just goes up 10 levels, because all of a sudden
you have access.
But somebody who is the same age as I was, who grew up in this system, is probably looking at different kind of limitations. Yeah? They're so focused on the things they don't have, they don't realize
Maximize what they got.
what they have access
Yeah.
to. Which is why I think when a lot of Africans arrived and they saw the opportunities that weren't being taken, they were just out there taking it. And it was the same with me and UKGospel.com.
You sound like like for me. I totally get you from that, because you saw the boost and the infiltration of a lot of the African community in the 90s and the 2000s, because it's almost a case of, yo, this is legit, blood. Like my friend said to me, yo, I was in Zim, came here, yo, we have to pay for books at primary school, and he just gone clear. And I do appreciate the blessings of that. Still trying to steer it back to UK gospel.
Go on.
What I don't like is that do we partake there's a way of, the Bible is a biblical book. Let's get over it, man. We talk about atrocities in the Bible as well as the positive elements of the Bible. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So there is nothing wrong with pointing at points of history and understanding the atrocities as well as the blessings of history. Yeah.
Tie that to UK gospel. I want to see where you're going with this.
For me, when it comes to UK gospel, we enable too often, the allowance of I sat down and watched it. I'll never forget. I watched, when you sit down and watch them billions of blogs, I watched a billion of blogs that went in. COVID hit and everyone discovered Zoom, So I saw these things, and then George Floyd happened, and everyone's talking about racial issues. And I sat down there, and so people were talking about the sound of worship. Now, what is the sound of worship? Now, people were pertaining that sound of worship is very Hillsongy. We call it Hillsongy sound and whatever. So and I think that's the biggest lie that we allow Christianity to tell us. You know what I'm saying? The sound of worship, there's no particular sound of worship. You know what I'm saying? There should never be a sound of worship. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, you know what I'm saying, bro, how can we define and also what disappoints me, and this is where, if we're going to transcend culture, this is why I love Toby Nigwe. You know about Toby Nigwe, So I said
Nigerian, by the way.
Tyler taught me well, so I said Nigwe proper, and even Yinka
Wigwe.
Oh gosh, I said it wrong.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
Oh god,
I know.
Babe Tyler. Okay, I say
Mwigwe. NW is Mwigwe.
Okay, I'm not even gonna try it. Yeah, so. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna mess up. But I love that he kept his grittiness. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kept who he is. You know what I'm saying?
I get frustrated.
You know what I'm saying?
Roger, you know, I've been out of UK gospel for a while. One of the reasons why I ended up leaving, one of the reasons why I wasn't as active, that's the right way to put it, actually, not leaving, because I never left.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I wasn't as active in, what we're in now, 2022, in 2000, 2001, but certainly 2000, was because I think we're putting the emphasis, we're putting the accent on the wrong things.
Go on.
I think when we have people like you, heavyweight that you are, and many people like you and I who have been doing this for a long time, arguing over what we think the sound of UK gospel is, it's a waste of time and energy.
Well, I'm not talking about the sound of UK gospel.
What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about the sound. I'm just saying that people just to do them. Something that Lecrae said when he came over. Yeah.
If you're saying that, you are my new best friend.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 100%.
You're my new best friend because what I found, I remember having not having this conversation, but seeing this conversation play out on Facebook, where people were trying to, talk about the Hillsongification of black worship music.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
And I think what people forget is these things are trends.
Yeah.
They go in trends.
Yeah.
And it's a complex issue because what you have to do is start to unpack the elements and then you understand it.
Yeah.
If you are an artist who does this full time, you need to create music that people will buy to sustain your business and your ministry.
Yeah.
Okay. And if the sound of the time is Hillsong, then that's what you do.
You do, yeah.
Okay? It's no different to what happened with Graham Kendrick.
Yeah.
Back in the early 90s. It's a very similar sound. Graham Kendrick, Stuart Townend were the songs we were singing in church back then. Very similar to what people are singing with the whole Hillsong thing now. That's just the trend. I think what you're saying, and if this is what you're saying, I completely agree. What you're saying is that we need to do us.
Yeah.
We need to own our sound. We need to own the grime sound, which is now the drill sound. We need to own the UK street sound. We need to own the UK
gospel sound,
gospel,
or Afro fusion, or whatever it is. And bro, if you want to do
you have
rock,
to run that. Sorry to interrupt you, but you have to run that in parallel to whatever the trend is at the time.
So, okay, cool. So you see me...
Because the hill song is going to come and it's going to go.
Yeah.
Something else is going to replace that. And that's what people are going to be singing in our churches. But if you suddenly don't do the drill and the Afrobeat because everybody swings towards that, then we're going to lose.
We're going to lose. We're going to lose who we are. We're going to lose these.
We need to find a way of making sure that we can have both of them coexist.
And that's
the
why,
challenge.
and that's why I'm passionate doing my platform, because what I want to do is and this is what I'm saying to people: if you want to be a skunk Nancy, be a skunk Nancy. I don't business, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, end of the story, guys. I grew up in the white area. You had to show is I grew up listening to unfortunately Led Zeppelin and all these crazy guys because my friends were there. Jamiroquai fan, Incognito. You know what I'm saying? So my sound was quite eclectic because of the area I grew up in, and my sounds. But I like black music same way. But the thing is, just do you. When someone's faking a funk, you know what I'm saying? You look at them going, yeah, this ain't really you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this ain't real. And I never forget what Lecrae said when he came over the first time I brought him over. Yeah, and he said that in interviews, he goes, "Real recognizes real." Because at the time it was very, how can you be successful as a rapper? How can you right at the beginning stages were like, you can't make nothing out of this. And look at Lecrae now, you know what I'm saying? He carried on doing the rap thing, and he did some softer tracks, you know what I'm saying? Just to really, you know what I mean? Oh, but this is real. He's done some commercially sounding tracks, you know, from a rap perspective. But the reality show is real recognizes real. And what I want to do is encourage young men, young women, is to do you. Don't let nobody try and push you away from what it is. And the reality show is you are going to rap on top of a I'm not saying cheesy, a commercially track.
I think people are doing that.
You know what I'm
I think the argument we're having, not the argument, the discussion we're having now is actually a particular brand of person who has this. If you're older and you've been in UK gospel for as long as I have, those are the people having the conversation. Something I've always said to you over the years, the driving engine of UK gospel has always been young people. Always been young people. Always. And that's why UK gospel is always dynamic, because what's really driving the industry forward is the young people who are just there to express whatever they want to express with the sound that they've got at the time. And the people who are arguing as to whether, you know, this sound is right or that sound is right, or whether we're losing heritage, tend to be the older people who've probably got way too much time on their hands to be arguing about it.
And the thing is, guys, I don't. Me personally, you know what I'm saying? I'm not an older guy, by the way, people. But now, I'm actually. But what I want to be doing, like even with the Jeremiah project, me personally, we did we're going to coming out with a new podcast soon, and one of our first subjects is what's the sound of UK gospel. There ain't no sound for UK gospel. Just do you, and that's fine. I'm here to support and to facilitate you and who you are, and I'm not going to say that don't sound right for the station. I want you know me within a remit, because the thing is, bro.
Can I just say really quickly on that, just before, don't forget what you were going to say. If you're an artist and you're listening to this, let me look at you directly. One of the conversations I always have with artists that really irritates me, I get really annoyed about this, which is why I'm looking at the camera and saying this directly to you. If you're one of those artists, don't worry about what the trend is. Don't worry about what the latest sound is. Don't worry about how people are going to respond to your music. If you feel deeply and strongly enough about that music, put it out. Put it out. If that's where your mind is, if that's what your sound is, and it doesn't matter if it was popular 5 weeks ago, 5 years ago, if that's what you feel like you want to do, just go ahead and do it. And I promise you, if it's good enough and it's strong enough, we will come round to you. I promise you that much.
Bro, listen, man. Yeah, I wasn't you know, for me still, yeah, guys, I'll be honest with you, I'm a church boy. I grew up in church listening to Commission, Andre Crouch, and everyone sees me as a hip hop head, but I grew up on traditional sound. And every time I hear new styles of music, whether it's Amapiano, whether it's Afrobeats, whether it's reggae, whether it's soca, believe it or not, all these tracks are outside of my natural, you know what I mean, upbringing and whatsoever.
Okay.
So my ear isn't open to it, you know. And when there's a rhythm, I'm like, you know what, you know, you got Screwface, you're going, oh, who's this blood? You know what I'm saying? And I have to salute Nadia because she gets, you know, she gets all the stations, and you know, when you have to kind of make a complex,
Nice.
yeah, and again, bro, the diversity of blackness, sound of black, you know what I mean, it's ridiculous. And I always said to people, we have to lift up our head and be proud of who we are, because if you check this out, bro, our sound, yeah, I watched Black Panther, yeah, Black Panther is pure, you know what I mean, it's us who produce the music, it's pure sounds that everything you can associate to blackness, African culture, yeah, 100%.
I don't think so, brother. I'm not even going to hear that.
Okay, go.
I have beef with.
Oh, okay, Black Panther.
No, not with Black Panther. I have beef with how much people have ended up deifying Black Panther. But we haven't got time.
Okay, we haven't got time.
I've got to go get a train.
Okay, go.
But
no, definitely. For me, when I watched the Shang-Chi, the Chinese version of Black Panther, yeah,
yeah.
At the end, they got an R&B track as the backing track. So we wouldn't.
That's interesting.
So we don't have any other style of music because we don't need nobody else. But the reality shows.
That's interesting. I didn't think of that.
The stats are that black. I was listening to a podcast by some CCM artist, and her dad's a pioneer in the CCM sound, yeah. Okay. And they said they come from rock and roll sound, and rock and roll sound. Who's that? It's black people. You know what I'm saying? So the roots of CCM is in the black sound.
I just think if you're an artist,
it's supposed to live up ahead. I know our skill set, bro. Because too often we felt like we are apologetic about who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying for people, say, listen, if Hillsong dudes want to do Hillsong, if you want to do Hillsong, do Hillsong. I'm sorry, I'm saying forgive me, Hillsong, because I'm making it out like you guys are sound. If you want to do the 16 string guitar and sing out a tune thing, kind of in tune, like if you want to do them things, you know. But if you want to sing with some soul, whether you're white, black, or Asians, I'm forced, because
Again,
some of the greatest rappers are not necessarily black. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think again, this whole conversation centers around a certain type of demographic and a certain type of people.
Yeah.
I always go back to the young people
and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They do what they want to do with passion. They do what they want to do because they feel strongly about it. And you know what we see now with drill. You know, if you look at say what Ben is doing with Mercy, for example.
Yes.
You know, if you look at what Derek is doing with gospel hydration,
100%. Yeah.
A lot of these, they're just young people who are really passionate about. First off, they're passionate about the gospel, but they're just getting on with their sound. And over time, what happens is that passion evolves into quality. So you start off being really passionate about something, and you get so good at it that the quality of what you're putting out is incredible. And it becomes undeniable. What you don't do is have an argument or this hand-wringing as to whether that thing is valid or not. It's a waste of time. And that's one of the things that we've lost in the UK gospel industry.
Come on. Yeah,
cool. In the sense that we need to be a bit more about. There's so many things that need doing, and of course, there's a whole question around what do we do first. But one of the priorities for me has always been, let's just knock something together that we own. You know, leave somebody else to define what that is. Okay, but look at every single success that UK gospel has had in terms of the youth market, where movements have become trends, have become phenomenons. You know, look at somebody like Called Out Music. Yeah, look at somebody like Chibuzo, who manages Called Out Music. Started off with Makbo first, and then Called Out to the label HFP, and then off of the back of that, I think Daphne Richardson's now there. Asher Elliott was announced a couple of weeks ago.
Which
you know, so all of a sudden that label is growing. I don't think Chibuzo was sitting there thinking, what's the best way to do UK gospel? He was just thinking, let me put out the best kind of sound I can put out. And now that guy is an international label. It's the same guy that signed Marizu. I think
Marizu.
HFP represent Marizu in the UK. I don't know if they represent him globally, but they certainly represent him right here in the UK. And this is what I'm talking about, that if more people follow that model, where we're basically saying, this is what we define our thing to be. We don't need anybody else to externally define it. We've defined it. That's it. We do. And we're going to get excellent at it. And then we're going to move it forwards.
Okay, cool.
Boom, done.
And the only thing for me, bro, and I'm totally cool with that because obviously he's from Birmingham originally, by the way. But,
is he?
So, he's a Brummy. Yeah, I was saying. Yeah, I know. Just Brummies. We go down London and pretend we smile and wave with you guys.
Well, there's there's Dave P, there's Lindsley Campbell, I know.
There's Priscilla Jones.
Fine.
We were on things anyway. But now, 100%, bro, and I think that we've got like myself and yourself, bro. We started off and we would hide our first attempts at websites and from everybody because
I didn't even hide. My first, unfortunately, my first websites don't exist anymore because Move got sold.
Flash version 2 don't work anymore.
but it proves my point. It's a great place for me to end only because I have to go. But it really proves my point. My thing was just you do what you want to do. To the most excellent level you can do it based on the ability you have. Yeah. That's how I got to find out about you. When D came out with
the EP, her EP, self-titled it, Defined. There was nothing
like Defined in UK gospel at the time, and I raved about it to the best of my ability. And then D got in touch, and you got in touch because you were managing D at the time. And that's how we connected. It's for me, it's all about delivering the excellence.
That page right now to this day, bro.
My goodness, I love that tune. And every single time that UK gospel has progressed, you know, think about things like Power Praise, Sing Unto the Lord. UK gospel classic.
Absolutely classic.
Think about Raymond and Co. Playing Games. Classics. These are sounds that would just literally just basically put that sound together. Think about Four Corners. Think about Cyanide. But the point
Governor
is,
B, Kingdom Skank. The Kingdom Skank was a revolutionary track. You know what I'm saying?
And my point is basically 100%. This: you identify whatever you think your sound is, and you deliver it. Because the pioneers will never really get the props, but they have to lay the foundation for other people to follow through.
Bro, I'm gonna die daily, man.
Simple.
Die daily, man, and that's what. And the thing is being trailblazers is not the fun part, guys. But the thing is, the reality show is it needs to be done, and people need to be selfless. And the beauty of it, bro, guys, the blueprint is in the Bible, man, and that's how. You know what I'm saying, bro? It was saying we just have to just follow Christ, man.
Because
you know what I mean?
What happens is, because I remember UKGospel.com back in the day, less so now, but UKGospel.com back in the day came out, and then shortly afterwards, or around about the same time, United by One came out. Phenomenal website. And then of course Christoph came along and completely revamped United by One, and then of course you came out with Gospel Link magazine. But if we all didn't just try and do what we could do within our capability to the most excellent level, it wouldn't attract the other person, because it got to the stage where you kind of think, right, okay, if I'm going to do this thing, I need to see what United by One is doing, because they're doing it as standard, and at the very least, I need to match that standard. And you know, James will do the same thing, and what's UK Gospel doing, and what's Gospel Link doing? And that's that for me is the secret. It's like you're saying, it's like the biblical example. It's like you're a pioneer, and you're dying daily, and you're just putting it out there, and you may not be the one to reap the benefit, but
So God,
Doesn't
because
really matter.
you reap in heaven, brethren. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna sound like a pastor there, but
Yeah,
but the thing is like, you know, I don't think myself and Yinka's ever kind of directly reaped from the gospel industry in terms of when I say directly, we've indirectly reaped. You know what I'm saying? But the directness, you know, we don't have residual income coming by all the artists that we've supported. But it wouldn't be bad still anyway. So it's just showing off his Android watch as well, bro.
Android watch, man.
Yeah, it's a. Sorry, we have Apple up here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we go. But listen, guys, we're close, of course. Obviously, we're gonna sort out Yinka and sending back home to London. But obviously, he's just now.
I'm gonna come back though. This is just a flying visit.
He's just looking at. He's looking for some houses because he's found out that the train's quite quick to go. Quite quick. He's gonna talk to the missus later and go, listen, Birmingham's not too bad, you know. We can get a mansion up here.
I love Birmingham. I think one of the. Let me end on a slightly controversial note. Birmingham. That whole Birmingham versus London argument, I remember back in the 90s. I'm going to sound like a really old man. Go. But back in the 90s, the Birmingham versus London argument, London is far better than Birmingham. This is the truth.
Yeah, okay, cool.
London is far better than Birmingham if you really want to deliver excellent quality. Okay. Back then, I think it's probably still the same now. If you wanted to deliver, you know, great, you know, all of the artists, you know, all of the great producers, songwriters, musicians, everybody had to come to London to actually get stuff.
Okay,
done,
cool.
Yeah?
Okay, cool.
Because London has it for that.
Yeah, cool.
But when I came Birmingham, the thing I love about Birmingham, that Birmingham destroys London. Maybe not. I don't know about now because I'm not as plugged in. Was heart.
Okay.
And soul.
Yeah.
I remember because in London it was so hard nosed. Because it was so hard nosed in London. You put an event on and people could barely come out. And when they came out, it was you had to kind of wind people up to get them engaged. I used to come out to Birmingham and it was like a family. It was like a family. Everybody knew everybody loved and everybody. And when the music started, you didn't have to kind of crank up the crowd because everybody was there to A, support the event, B, just kind of worship and fellowship. And that's what Birmingham was. Again, I don't know about now, but Birmingham was the heart, the proper spiritual heart of UK gospel. And London was the technical business art. It's how I saw it.
No, 100%. No, exactly. I'll tell you, there's a lot of raw talent.
See, you can't argue with that.
I can't argue that. You know, we just say with the heart and soul of UK gospel. But as for the punching end, believe it's London anyway. So I like that actually. I'm gonna sample that, bro. I'm gonna cut that out, man.
I send you the invoice.
Yeah,
I send you the invoice.
But listen, guys, I'm gonna out. Listen, man. If you're Southerner, you want to come up and have a battle with Roger right up here. This was the battle one.
It'll probably come back and do a pop one actually.
Pop one, but no, definitely. But anytime, all time. Listen, guys, we're just here at Affinity Extra. We want to have these conversations that make me better, make Yinka better. Let you guys understand that where we coming from, where we getting from. That we're not just here just to do what we do. We're here to push UK gospel to Moses. We're total two different backgrounds. I'm English born, hardcore, Caribbean, rice and peas and chicken.
I'm English born, Nigerian raised, but the thing that binds us together is the gospel.
Yeah. And we talk chill. We talk like we grew up together.
Yeah.
Literally every single time we talk like we grew up together, and we can have rounds with each other, and we just there gritting teeth, going. Trust me, it's all.
Let me end by saying this before I forget. Look for me on social, Yinka Mode.
Yeah, man.
Yinka, Yinka, MODE. I can't promise that I'm going to respond to everybody, but I will try and give as much guidance as possible, any kind of knowledge and sharing and that kind of thing. Same way Roger does.
Amen to that, guys. Yeah. But listen, this is Roger over and out with my boy Yinka, ukgospel.com and Yinka Mode.
See you later.
Blessing.
Thank you for watching the content we're putting out. Listen, make sure that you are liking, subscribing and following us on all our social channels, including patreon.com. Make sure you're finding us on there to support what we do so we can support you. And remember, guys, be extra.